Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yup, what's good, original crew, man? We're back. We got Ray William Johnson. Tried to warn them. You know who Ray William Johnson is? I thought maybe one of us knew. I have no clue.
I don't.
Like, this one, first time, I'm like, I have no clue about this.
Supposed to?
I don't know, man. We're going to find out.
Okay.
Find out a little something, man. Hey, shout out to Patrick CC for another one, man. Make sure y'all check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go. If you want to first support, all you have to do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's video,
like it with a thumbs up.
But let's go. Let's check it out. Let's see what's about. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's roll it.
In 2012, Ray William Johnson was the #1 most subscribed YouTuber on the platform, which sounds like a great accomplishment, but it made him.
In what year?
2001. I'm at 2012.
In 2012, Ray William Johnson was.
What?
My bad.
In 2012, Ray William Johnson was the #1 most subscribed YouTuber on the platform, which sounds like a great accomplishment, but it made him a target. Ray was in a feud with a merciless, greedy, and borderline evil company that was actively trying to leech every last dollar from big and small YouTubers all over the world. Some of your favorite creators were victims: PewDiePie, Moist Critical, Philip DeFranco, just to name a few. The ironic part is that this company, dubbed Maker Studios, was founded by other popular YouTubers. It really be your own people. However, the true kingpin of the Maker Studios mob was a man called Danny Zappin, a federal convict who got out of prison and exploited the untapped goldmine of YouTube money. However, despite Ray's valiant efforts of exposing the evil tactics of Zappin's company, it wasn't enough. Maker Studios would go on to sell to Disney for over $500 million. This dream team, guided by the vision of a federal convict, got filthy stinking rich at the expense of hardworking YouTubers around the world. This is how they did it. YouTube launched in May of 2005. Danny Zappin, aka Danny Diamonds, was one of their early users because he was on house arrest with nothing to do but browse the internet all day. In 2000, Danny moved to Los Angeles to be an actor but failed. He claimed it's because he confronted Hollywood's gatekeepers after being denied multiple roles and they blacklisted him. Because of this, Zappin needed money, so he smuggled ecstasy, got caught, and was sentenced to 2 years in prison. Danny began uploading videos to sites like Crap TV before he was arrested, so YouTube was like a shiny new toy when he got out. YouTube gained 30,000 unique users a day after its beta release in May 2005, and by the time it officially released in December of that year, it would reach a combined 2 million total views a day, and by the following month, 25 million. Then YouTube reached its first 1 million viewed video, which was Brazilian soccer player Ronaldinho receiving his golden boots. In a feat of marketing genius, Nike uploaded the video under the alias Joe B, as if it was any other YouTube user instead of the multinational sneaker conglomerate. The advertising potential was looking extremely promising, which is why Google purchased YouTube for $1.65 billion within a year of their launch. With such potential for money to be made, not only did established companies get involved, but opportunistic creators as well. It's no secret that creators always have and always will be the foundation, the backbone of what makes this site amazing. YouTube content in the early days consisted mostly of just things related to Club Penguin, classical music masterpieces, memes, really bad tutorials, more memes, and Soulja Boy. But sprinkled in there were creators who made skits, storytime videos, theories of the universe, news channels, and the first YouTube influencers were starting to gain millions of views on their videos. YouTube then launched their partner program that pays a percentage of the advertising revenue when ads are shown on their videos. Most creators at this time treated YouTube like a fun hobby and not a career path. However, people like Danny Zappin saw an opportunity that he knew he could exploit.
I'll say this. That's one reason why I'll say YouTube is going to continue to thrive. And the reason why a lot of these other platforms are really like looking at YouTube as the golden like ideal. Like a lot, like no lie, Facebook are starting, like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of them are mapping out their everything behind what YouTube has created. And the reason why YouTube continues to flourish and thrive is solely based off the people. Yeah. It's a platform made by the people, pushed by the people, used by the people, and the people are the ones who are moving the channel, moving the platform. The platform is made solely by the people. So if it wasn't for the everyday people, like if it was actors and stuff like that, you can like easily like tune out it. And I think that's the reason why like television kind of, you know what I'm saying? Because it's at the end of the day, television is still gonna be here. But the reason why YouTube is such a big like impact now is because of the people. For lack of a term. Yeah.
A career path. However, people like Danny Zappin saw an opportunity that he knew he could exploit. Danny told a few other creators about his vision. His girlfriend Lisa Donovan, her brother Ben Donovan, as well as Shay Carl and Kasim G, who were all YouTubers. One night, they all got together for a brainstorm session and laid the foundation for what would become Maker Studio.
I think originally the idea, we were all content creators and there are a few others, and the idea was if we could come together and share our audience and build an infrastructure, we could all scale and build a company, to what it is today. And
I made videos, but I didn't know how to do other things. Like I wasn't a great editor, and I didn't know how to shoot things. And Maker gave me a place where all that was handled, and all I had to do was just try and be funny.
And that working together, you can help one another. And I think driving audience to one another and helping new talent that hadn't been established grow an audience, I think is really exciting. And
they essentially came up with the idea for a studio to share resources and talent, similar to Hollywood studios that have been around for 100 years. Danny thought this was revolutionary, but the idea was nothing special. Most people didn't know why we were founding Maker, and we couldn't get any of our actor friends to participate. The most popular YouTube content was low-quality webcam videos of people with simple ideas and a lot of personality. Why do they need a professional studio? Well, the answer was they didn't. And even 15 years later, many of your favorite creators today are just people in their room coming up with stuff. But Danny had a plan, and step one was to create a success story to prove this could work. Danny and the group launched a collaborative channel called The Station, which even included Shane Dawson, Philip DeFranco, and Hi, I'm Ron. Maker believed each of those stars could be used to direct fans to new artists, which inspired the company to build a network of affiliated channels. And they were right. They had immediate success with Hot Girls on Teen Cribs, amassing 60 million views.
What's up, MTV? My name's Ariel. Welcome to my crib. Let me show you around. Meet my less attractive friend, Jasmine. She's super ugly, but don't hold it against her.
The station established an office space where they would connect during work days to plan, shoot, and edit the content. They recruited more people to be a part of the team. Andrea's Choice, What a Day Derek, Cecily, The Fine Bros, who changed their channel to React, Michael Gallagher from Totally Sketch, Timothy De La Ghetto, the list goes on and on. Their main type of content were comedy sketches, similar to College Humor, but way worse.
I've been working at this bar for 2 months now, and I gotta say, these people are really into their craft beers.
Can I get a Pooch Daddy Saison?
You guys got any Blue Caboose barley wine?
One doppelganger doppelbox.
Hey, Teach, do you?
Do I what?
Do you? Splooge!
I would never!
You should. Splooge is the new cool thing.
Most of their humor was extremely low-hanging fruit, men dressing up as women, playing on racial stereotypes, and trying to make anything as sexual as possible. 99% of this content aged terribly, but this was a time where the edgier you were on YouTube, the more views you could get.
We're with two hot sluts on Abbott Kinney to see what they think about what's happening with the recession.
Danny Zappin was pretty much the only person at the station who...
What?
That caught me off guard.
Nah, like you gotta realize that was that time
I
on
know,
YouTube.
but it caught me off guard.
I remember going on YouTube back then. Like we were going on YouTube in school before those sites were blocked and stuff. And
yeah.
we were like,
so I was trying to get on there one day.
Watch
you
fights.
on there one day and then the next day.
Yeah, but you be like, damn, bro.
Who I need to talk to?
But yeah, we used to go in there and watch the fights. Then you know what I'm saying? Watch the twerk. The twerk team joints and all that, like those are our time, you know what I'm saying? Remember going on watching Soulja Boy learn how to crank that, like all the dance craze blew up off of YouTube, man.
That was definitely all I was watching back then.
Like the
fights,
Dougie,
twerking, I really was. What was it? The two girls?
Nah, that wasn't on there. The two
at
girls
one
in
point,
I didn't watch it.
No, not that. I'm talking about the twerking. The two.
The twerk team. They were called twerk team.
Was it just a twerk team?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're female. You should know.
Y'all
girls was like.
I literally had a brain fart, so I'm trying to ask you. Okay, come on.
I gotta learn how to twerk. I got to learn. Throw that ass in the side. Oh.
But anyway, yeah. Come on.
Hey, what? You quit acting like you. Ooh, okay. She did.
I sure was.
She did right cheek, left cheek. Okay, right cheek, left.
Yeah, I was. I ain't have nothing to throw, but I was throwing what I had.
on camera. That's because he was too busy figuring out how to get rich. Danny realized they had a money problem. They had a group of 20 or so creators with millions of subscribers, and they were generating tens of millions of views per month, but the ad revenue from the partner program wasn't enough. You see, the partner program in 2010 was not even close to what it is today. It was only available to a select group of very popular creators who had to apply and be accepted. But even those people weren't making significant money because the percentage split was terrible. The only way to make more money was to get more creators involved. But the studio only had so much space and employees to provide services to creators. This is where Danny's scheme began. Maker Studios formed a multi-channel network, or MCN. Instead of only working with the in-house creators at the station, Maker would try to discover talent all over the world and sign them to the network, in exchange for 20, 30, sometimes 40 or 50% of the creator's ad revenue. Keep in mind, YouTube would send the entire sum of the creator's revenue to the MCN. The MCN would take their cut out and send the rest back to the YouTuber. That's like your paycheck going directly to your landlord, he pays your rent and then sends you the rest. It's hard to understand why anyone would be willing to give up such a large percentage and control of their income.
Man, you know how many people have done it and still are doing that to this day? Like, and then I'll be like, what? Like, when I come across, like, cause we do reaction videos, so we gotta make sure, you know what I'm saying, stuff. So, like, every time you come across a video and you see that video is copyrighted, just know somebody is doing this.
Yeah.
Like, they're literally having somebody making revenue off of their content and then say, hey, we get a cut. Our cut might be 20 or 30%, but hey, here, we made sure you can make money off another person's channel.
Right.
Bro, like, to be real, like 9 times out of 10, majority of people who react to your videos don't get the same amount of views you get. You know what I'm saying? Typically, that's how it works. Also, you'll just get more video if you build a network and build a connection with the people who possibly is reacting to your stuff and being like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Can you put, you know what I'm saying, shout me out or send your people my way too? And then like build, like I'm telling you, like you do not need any of these companies. They are 100% ripoffs. If you just like, if people stop being big headed and just learn how to communicate with each other, whether you got 10 subscribers or you got 100 million subscribers.
Yeah.
If we all learn how to use YouTube as a network.
Yeah.
Bro, YouTube will be the biggest platform, like way bigger, because that's the biggest thing. Like back in the day when they used to do the, what's the like the YouTube joint they used to do out in California, where everybody used to want to go out to.
Well, they have the.
Cause I know they had the Black YouTube event,
Yeah.
but then they had the regular YouTube joint out in California. I forgot, but all the creators and stuff used to go out to California and link up and do meet and greets and all that stuff. But then a lot of people start developing Viacom. Yeah, Viacom and stuff like that. But a lot of creators, even a lot of your favorite creators, are like so ego-centered that if you're not on their field as far as subs and stuff like that, then I can't mess with you. And it's like, bro, y'all are no better than, like, y'all are literally like the people that a lot of people try to shit on when it comes down to Hollywood actors and stuff. Like, bro, YouTube can strike your channel down and that joint be gone, and you back at the boat with the rest of everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be.
So you just feel like people should just
learn how to
build genuine like
connections and relationships,
and network and relationships, and
and
basically help each other. Yeah, because you're stronger together.
Yeah, so, and then to be honest, ad revenue will be bigger because a lot of stuff that we go through, like especially even before we got on the platform with the adpocalypse, I don't think that would have happened. And a lot of stuff wouldn't have happened if it more, like, say for instance, like, you know how a job has a union, but unfortunately a union still, you have to pay them, but it's not like YouTube is controlling everything. You get what I'm saying? They have to go through somebody else. Like, but if we all work together and build some type of bond amongst us, then I think a lot of stuff will work out better, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely easier said.
It's easier said than done.
I definitely get what you mean.
and why anyone would be willing to give up such a large percentage and control of their income. Most creators just didn't know how this business worked, and that's where Danny knew he could exploit it. However, Maker did provide some real value. First of all, Maker could get any channel who signed with them instantly monetized. The partner program was still limited access at this time, and Maker had direct connections with YouTube since it was comprised of the most popular creators. You also couldn't monetize gaming videos unless you had a partner network, because video game companies would copyright claim videos using game footage. Maker even had music label connections, and music creators could use copyright music or make covers without getting claimed. YouTube support was notoriously terrible, and still kind of is, but Maker would provide you with a dedicated team member to help you with all of your YouTube related issues. You even needed to sign to an MCN just to make custom video thumbnails. By April of 2011, Maker signed 150 channels that generated 325 million views per month. One of their signees was the #1 most subscribed YouTuber on the platform, Ray William Johnson. Their roster was very impressive with Ray and many other top creators, but Maker still didn't have enough money. So Danny raised $1,524,999 from a venture capital firm called Gray Croft Partners. And at this point, fans still had no idea how serious this operation was, because the station's content was still just as unhinged as ever. All of the creators that signed to Maker were free to be as creative as possible, so you couldn't really tell there was an infrastructure around it. That's probably because it was still operated by creators who genuinely were interested in making videos rather than making money. But Danny was not operating in the interest of fans. Maker Studios was not taken seriously by the entertainment industry, they weren't respected, and that bothered him. He needed to legitimize the company. YouTube was known for low quality content, which didn't excite investors.
I think the next stage that YouTube will eventually go to is what Netflix is doing. I think they'll step up and they'll start doing quality content and programming in the same manner. That's not just, Annoying Orange is huge and it's great, but the production value in a lot of it, and I'm not knocking them, but the production value on the majority of YouTube videos is not there. But I think once they step up to that next level, and I don't know what your plans are, but then yeah, it becomes its own network, just like Netflix and all these others that you're going to see popping up.
So Danny wanted to make.
That's kind of messed up though. How y'all trying to push for high quality content when the platform's built up off of people who just didn't like. If YouTube was like 100% built off people where you had to come in with the highest quality straight off the bat, nobody would really do it. Nobody had the finance, and nobody knew
to even
had
go out
to
here and get the type of equipment
or the skills to even edit the videos at the high quality. Everybody started off at the bottom, whether it be a phone, low editing software, or low quality. We even got content that's like, if we go back and look at it, be like, that's cringe. And even here where we at now, 2-3 years from now, we'll be like, that was cringe. I can't believe we was at that quality then. Because the thing is to constantly level up. It's not meant to, I'll say this. No channel, once you start making revenue, you start building, you shouldn't stay stagnant. You shouldn't, if you got over 100,000 subscribers, you shouldn't be, I'm going to still do everything off my phone. Because I'll say this, you making money, bro. You should not be feeding your viewers trash content, trash quality. You should want to elevate every time, but especially if you asking for money, they donating to you. Use that income to reinvest into yourself. That's what we have done. If y'all ain't noticed, we got lights. We got a new camera, mic. I ain't elevated for the computer, but we finna elevate. We finna elevate that. Like, we have constantly kept elevating. As more money we get, the more we elevate. Reason why we got shirts and graffiti, it's all about, that's all this stuff is about, presentation. Headphones. If y'all go back and look at old videos, you never wear headphones. And people used to, hey, can y'all wear headphones? Sound but it's all over time. It's about the more money you make, put that money back into you. We invest money into our everything every year. And we want to elevate. That's how you have to teach people to elevate. But to say, hey, they also be like Netflix where it's all perfect content, it'll ruin the platform. And if people like, well, I can't be, you know how many kids grow up and want to be YouTubers? Yeah. Because they know that I can just use my phone. Facts. But if you tell me I have to be at a studio level, the kids going to be like, well, I don't want to do that because it sounds like hard work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, or even just going back to the fun things because
yeah.
A lot of young people don't have any funds to go out here and get the type of equipment or whatever you want us to get so that we can film these high quality videos.
Because a high quality camera is gonna be a couple $1,000s.
That's just not realistic.
You gotta pay for the expensive software to edit. Like all this stuff. Like the more high quality, the more money coming out.
Yeah, it becomes its own network, just like Netflix and all these others that you're going to see popping up.
So Danny wanted to make their company as big and legit as possible. By mid-2012, they signed over 2,000 new channels and had viewership in the hundreds of millions. They leveled up from their previous makeshift office space to a now 40,000 square foot series of buildings in Culver City. They grew to 260 employees, a group that includes advertising sales, business development, and tech people. Maker tried to create animated series and shows that could be formed into movies, traditional television shows, merchandise, etc. But their most popular signees were still just regular YouTubers. Maker created what looked like a very successful production studio with multiple different departments servicing their clients, when in reality, it wasn't being put to use. And out of desperation, Danny Zappin made a critical error. Most of Maker's money was coming from their top few creators. Ray William Johnson was their cash cow. Danny approached Ray and said Maker needed a bigger cut of revenue from his online show Equals 3. He asked Ray to renegotiate their existing contract 8 months prior to its expiration. Ray said, "The terms were incredibly aggressive. They wanted 40% of my YouTube channel's AdSense revenue after production costs, and more importantly, they wanted 50% of the show's intellectual property in perpetuity. And perpetuity means forever." He refused the new terms of the contract. Maker Studio took offense to his refusal, so they threatened to shut down his projects. When I politely refused their deal, as it was not in my best interest, they became increasingly aggressive. Negotiations quickly became a bizarre pissing contest between the heads at Maker Studios and myself, and I wouldn't hand over my intellectual property, and they wouldn't stop aggressively trying to get me to sign it over to them. On top of that, Ray claimed that they would not give him any of his AdSense money, because remember, it all goes to the MCN before the creator.
Now in the near future, Equals 3 will no longer be part of the Maker Studios network, so I'm gonna film here for a while. Even if I don't have the proper equipment at home, you know what? Even if I have to film butt naked in a back alley, you guys are getting an episode, goddammit.
After Ray William Johnson announced his departure, Maker Studios released a petty public statement. Ray is still part of the Maker network. However, with the recent decline in viewership on Equals 3, it made sense for him to go back to producing the show himself. Maker providing a full production staff of 12 people, including a team of writers, was no longer a viable option for Equals 3. Ray vehemently denies that he ever had 12 people and writers working on his show.
That's low.
You ready to snap at you.
That's so low. And this is the reason why.
Just imagine how much money they actually got off your ass.
And then all my revenue is going to you. And so you withholding my revenue because
so I actually got to be on top of even what I'm supposed to be making to make sure y'all giving me my cut that I actually supposed to get from y'all.
Now I can't even trust you.
So just imagine, like, say for instance, he was big at that time. He probably was making probably 100,000. You know what I'm saying? They making so much money off him. Let's just say he was making 100,000. Y'all talking about all that. So after you take so much and y'all like, hey, you get more and more and more. He probably was going home being happy. Was like, hey, I made $20,000-$30,000 a month. In reality, you making $100,000 a month. If you knew any better, you would have just got that. And then, like, you got to think about taxes and stuff like that, because that money actually comes in your name and not Maker Studios' name. Maker is just getting it. You know how many people like complain about, even when they were going through with this YouTube management stuff going on, and they were talking about how managements and stuff were taking money. I'm like, well, so many stories like this. Why do people constantly continue to sign to these networks and stuff? Like, it's never beneficial for you.
I guess people look at it on the end as to you're able to get me deals that I may not be able to go out here and get myself. So I feel like a lot of people sign because of that solely, because they're like looking to work with different brands and work with, So with that being said, then you don't need to be signing deals based off your content. You need to sign a management deal that you get a percentage of the. It should be a separate. That's type understanding business as far as the entertainment business. Yeah. You have a manager. Your manager, whatever deal your manager gets you, they get 10%, which is
Like, that's just how every industry works when it comes down to entertainment.
Right.
Whatever deals you bring. If I go out and get a deal on my own, you get no profit of that. If anything got to do with my channel, you get no profit of that.
Right.
Like, because that's my content. You get a profit of the deal amount. So, say, for instance, a company comes to you and say, hey, we're going to give you $5,000 for advertisement in your video, right? All right, you get 10%, 10 or 20%, whatever we negotiate. Typically, it's no more than 20%. You get that, you get whatever that is. All right, cool. That's that. Whatever money also I make on YouTube off of this video, you get no dollar of that.
And then I'm trying to figure out, like, say for instance, just with, because I keep seeing his face and his face looks familiar, but I still don't like really the Ray William Johnson. His face looks familiar the more I see it, but still, like, okay. So even with like him and like the company or whatever the case may be, what are y'all actually helping him on? Like, which videos? Like, what are y'all?
They're probably editing videos. I wonder if they coming up with content ideas, and that when you start doing that stuff,
that's what I'm
you
trying
really
to see.
handing your channel over to somebody else.
Right. I'm trying to see what did y'all have hands in everything, like the edit.
So if that's the case, then
video.
they deserve your money because you just the face.
Yeah. So that's what I'm like.
And now
this
you
will
become
be a little bit different.
And then now you become a work for hire because now they're just hiring you to be the face and not necessarily the creator.
The creator.
So they're actually, but if you were doing everything, you're creating it, you shooting it, they might just edit it. You need to go hire you an editor.
And that's that.
It'll be way
you
cheaper.
Pay them from like it shouldn't even be like no type of middleman like this.
And you know what the gimmick is? So we get a lot of emails about those. I don't know if you check the emails about those, but a lot of companies like these constantly reach out to us and say, "Hey, we can help y'all push our contents on." And do shorts, reels, post on other platforms, and you get a percentage. I'm like, bro, like, I understand I might be too busy to be focusing on other platforms and stuff, but eventually I'll get there to where I want to be posted. If I ain't posting myself on other platforms, it's not that, like, sometimes, because some creators be like, man, they're going to help me make more money. Bro, well, how about you help yourself make more money? How about you just hire a family member to say, hey, when I make this video, I just need you to post it on my Facebook.
Yeah, something like that.
And the more you help me build my Facebook, the more it helps help you. And you can start off and say, hey, if you a person to make $50,000, hey, I can pay you $5,000 a month.
Most definitely, I'd rather do something like that where I have full control over than to be in a deal, in a contract with someone, and then when I don't want to do what you want me to do on your timing, then you do ish like this.
Shadies.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Ray vehemently denies that he ever had 12 people and writers working on his show, nor was his viewership declining. This led to a meeting to resolve the issue, where the CEO promised to return Ray's YouTube AdSense account to him. However, that never happened. They haven't made reasonable attempts to give it back to me. They are now even trying to leverage my own AdSense account against me so that I will sign over all your favorite Martians' intellectual property, void my stock options in the company, and sign a confidentiality agreement to never tell the truth. We wouldn't know about this hostage situation if Ray didn't post all of the information in an article published by New Media Rockstars. The other thing that he revealed to the world was that Danny Zappin was a convicted felon, and that he was waiting for his criminal record to be expunged so that he could officially become CEO of Maker. The ex-con texted Ray at 1 a.m. and said, "Your lack of integrity and character are sad. You prepare for war, bitch." Ray tweeted that nasty text that Danny sent to him, and then Shane Dawson replied with, "I got the same text 3 years ago. Oh, YouTube." Which is interesting since Shane Dawson was a part of the original The Studio crew, then seemingly disappeared. Philip DeFranco said, "There's a theme here," seemingly hinting that he has had the same beef with Danny Zappin. Then the Fine Bros also implied the same thing. Kasim G seemed annoyed at Phil for speaking up. "Philly D, you feeling okay?" Kasim G, "Just wondering how you and your guys can sweep this one under the rug." This was one of the first big pieces of drama that YouTube had seen. Shay Carl immediately defended Danny.
We're not the type of people that is going to try to like keep money from somebody or hold Ray William Johnson's AdSense account hostage. That is definitely not our intention, and that's not Danny Diamond's intention, and that's not Maker Studios' intention. I am proud to be part of Maker Studios. Maker Studios has done a lot for a lot of YouTubers, They have made it possible for over 350 people to earn a living in this YouTube space. People like my brother and my sister have medical benefits because of Maker Studios, because of people like Danny Diamond and Lisa Nova, and a lot of YouTubers, countless YouTubers, would not be where they're at today, me included, me especially, if it wasn't for Danny Diamond's idea and passion for this company.
It's no surprise that Kasim and Shay rushed to defend Danny, as they were two original founders who were set to make a ton of money during the sale of Maker, whereas Ray, Shane, Philip, and the Fine Bros were not founders, but the people who had the most clout that made Maker famous, and at that time were bringing in the views to boost the company's portfolio.
Also, this shows you that actually these people didn't get to the position they are at necessarily just solely off their hard work, but also by strategies and moves that were made behind closed doors.
Yeah.
So also, with that being said, with these channels that y'all, like, I've seen a lot of these channels be talked about in the past, would they still have been the channels that people know them as if it wasn't for Maker? You get what I'm saying? Because obviously Maker were pulling some strings and doing things for y'all behind the scenes to make y'all channel grow and be exposed as it was. Like, that's like a rapper, like, all right, I'm hustling, I'm independent, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I can get my name known and my popularity to a certain level, but as soon as I signed this major deal, signed to a major record label, now I'm being able to be on more radios, and I can get the interviews I wanted. I can go back, especially back in the day, go on TV shows and get the more exposure that I needed instead of having to do everything myself and work extra hard. Now it's kind of like a little easier for me to really, and then I can get way more exposure, get the collabs I want to, and without having to work hard or get those no's. You'll get more yeses basically signing to a major deal than being solo. With them signing to Maker, they get more yeses than they traditionally would get no's. What you was gonna say? Cause you was finna cut me off.
No, I don't know. It was something to whatever you hit. Nothing. Don't worry about it. I wasn't about to cut you off. I was just about to chime in because I know you was gonna keep talking and I was gonna forget because it was related to something you said earlier in the conversation.
No, I was just referencing like would those platforms still, like, would they be at the level they were, like, as far as the popularity?
If it wasn't because of
something a Maker working the streets.
Who knows? Like, maybe so, maybe not. But at the same time, I don't know. I didn't going to ask you what was the reason kind of to say that, because I was. Don't worry about it.
Because the reason why, let me say this, because the reason why all of these people that he's saying are big household names when it came down to YouTube. Those channels, and then you saw their face plastered everywhere. Their name has always been attached to, like they done made multi-millions of dollars. And I'm like, what? Like, they signed to Maker back in 2012 when the ad revenue thing was just getting started.
Yeah.
So you got to realize, like, could y'all have really been that big making all this money? If it wasn't for Maker pulling the string behind the scene, because sometimes like that keep, like, say for instance we signed to Maker, right? That would take our channel from being right at almost at 200,000 to being a 500,000, a million. Like, a lot of people like, oh, y'all should be way bigger. Signing those things and making those deals allows you to be bigger.
Yeah.
A lot of channels that are millions have signed deals in the past. They just don't glorify it now. That's the reason why you have seen certain channels used to hit 3-4 million views, and now they barely can get 100,000 views. Though that is the difference. It's not necessarily them. It's more of that they don't have that backing like they used to have, and they're giving the same energy that they have always got. It's just they had more of a machine behind them. Now they don't.
Didn't know if they should support the creators who had nothing to gain by outing Danny, or support the creators who founded the company set to make millions of dollars. Because in the middle of this drama, Time Warner acquired a % stake in the company for $36 million in December of 2012, and other contributors like Canal Plus and Singtel have also provided $26 million, for a combined total of $61.4 million in capital raised for Maker. The company was now valued at a several $100 million. Danny Zappin successfully successfully built his company to be the corporate enterprise he envisioned on house arrest. Now he wanted to take his money and run. In April of 2013, Danny Zappin asked to leave the company, cash out his stocks, and receive 6 months of pay, but he was willing to stay on as an advisor. The board had a meeting and authorized his departure, planning to replace him with Ynon Kreiss, a successful businessman in his own right. However, Danny very quickly changed his mind, demanding a senior executive role in order to save the company. When it was denied, that's when Maker board member Mark Suster claimed Zappin became hostile. Zappin would file a lawsuit against Maker and claimed the now CEO Kreiss, and the board hatched a plan to take away Zappin's power and shut him out of the company. I guess karma got the ex-convict badly. They gave him the same treatment that he gave Ray William Johnson 4 months earlier. But Danny made the right choice. He learned from his mistake as a failed drug dealer. You need to quit while you're at the top. Danny knew the MCN industry as a whole became worthless on April 12, 2012. YouTube opened their partner program to anyone in the top 20 countries that used the site. Now you no longer needed an MCN to be monetized. You didn't need an MCN to make custom thumbnails. They would not protect you from copyright claims even though they said they could. You don't need a fancy multi-million-dollar studio to produce videos in your bedroom. Maker had way too many creators signed to their network to provide services and support to all of them individually. So why would a creator sign to them? Well, because they were really good at lying. Today we have the benefit of hindsight. We know how many independent creators have built legitimate businesses through YouTube. We now know that YouTube is somewhat of a stable career path. It's not just some wacky hobby that only fringe kids do. In 2012, the future of YouTube was still unknown, so it was very easy for sales representatives at a big company like Maker to convince little old Patrick that he needs the backing of a major corporation. But they even convinced large creators to join. In December 2012, Maker was able to acquire the new #1 most subscribed and viewed YouTuber on the platform, PewDiePie. Once that happened, they acquired most of the YouTube giants. Epic Rap Battles of History, Tobuscus, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye to name a few. They quickly became the #1 MCN. By early 2014, they had over 55,000 signed creators to their network. But big creators like PewDiePie likely were not giving 10 to 40% of their ad revenue to Maker, especially amidst their bad press. Some creators gave Maker 0% of their ad revenue, and the reason Maker took 0% was more devious than you could imagine. The fact that MCNs received the entire ad revenue check from YouTube, then took a small percent or 0% before sending it to the creator was crucial for their business model. It makes their cash flow look insane. Maker's bank accounts were holding tens of hundreds of millions in cash. MCNs used these numbers to convince investors that YouTube was an untapped gold mine, and it was because of their content strategies. The other number they used to trick investors was views. By signing top talent, they were able to show how many views, aka advertisement potential, they were generating. Every all-hands meeting was led off with the number of views they were doing. 10 billion views, 11 billion, 12 billion. But the reason the views were growing was because the network kept growing and we were just adding more and more channels. Also, Maker did not technically own the content that creators like Markiplier and PewDiePie put out. It was riddled with copyright material and couldn't be sold to other platforms. Investors did not understand YouTube at all, but they couldn't ignore the money. In 2013, Maker generated $370 million in ad revenue, and $70 million of that was in direct sales. If you watch my previous video on Disney, then you know that in the mid-2010s, they were on fire with every aspect of their business, looking to take full control of every content medium in existence. They wanted to buy their way into YouTube, and in March of 2014, Disney acquired Maker Studios for $500 million, with the promise of up to $950 million if they met their targets. The final number ended up being $650 million. Original founders like Kasim G, Lisa Nova, and Shay Carl made a fortune.
This is going to change our lives and the lives of my children forever. Forever. This will change my kid's life.
By trusting the vision of Danny Zappin, Shay Carl got filthy rich. He bought a multi-million-dollar compound in Idaho and still uploads consistent vlogs of him and his family enjoying the extraordinary wealth. When the original founders made this business, it was a humble idea.
Bro, just imagine now, they're like, yeah, we made money off, so much money off all y'all creators. Now, I'm living in my wealth, and I can still upload videos and make more
money. And or not.
Now, I'm going to still upload my videos.
No, I'm just hypothetically speaking, or not. But, yeah, I'm filthy rich and still going to get even more money rolling in.
Because I know the strategy, what it takes to make a successful channel.
Mm-hmm.
So if I really want my channel to be successful, trust and believe, I know all the ins and outs because I was the creator of a large MCN.
Quickly turned into a system to make the business way more successful than it was, so the stockholders could sell it and cash out, leaving someone else to handle the pile of trash. And Disney had to take out the trash. They quickly realized they bought a business built off lies. Disney didn't really do anything with Maker Studios. They thought all YouTube creators would just become Disney, Marvel, and Pixar marketing puppets, shoving Disney ads in young kids' faces in every YouTube video. And they honestly could have forced that, but they didn't. Maker executives complained of the slow integration process and that they didn't receive access to Disney's brand and intellectual property. They probably didn't want YouTubers destroying their IP. Out of desperation, Maker tried to introduce new channels such as Polaris by Maker, a gaming channel. They tried to revive the station YouTube channel with shows like Casual Sketch, Song Voyage, and Time Machine, starring Timothy DeLaGhetto and Ricky Shucks. But these shows lacked the personal connection needed to survive on YouTube. It felt corporate and soulless. Despite the downward trend, they kept signing creators into predatory contracts, forcing them to be trapped in a failing business. There are countless examples of creators expressing their resentment towards Maker and all other MCNs that have scammed them, but the best example can be explained by none other than Moist Critical.
And then Maker came along and said, hey, we'll offer you this contract. It was a 60-40 split, and at the time that sounded great to me. I have never had any way of contacting Maker. Their support line does absolutely fucking nothing. And if you don't have your channel manager there to be that bridge, then you just have no way of getting in touch with Maker. It would sometimes take up to 3 months to get one check from Maker. It was last year when my channel got disabled due to false copyright strikes. I could not contact Maker no matter what. Wow. I did everything possible to get in contact with him. A contract shouldn't auto-renew. You should have to sign off on.
Well, alright, so I understand why he got paid out. Yo, they are a big finesse because in the entertainment world, you know what I'm saying? When you sign contracts like those in the entertainment world, you don't get, like YouTube, you get paid month by month. In the entertainment world, you get paid quarterly. So that's the reason why he was only getting paid like every 3 or 4 months, because they're doing it by quarters. So, damn, that's crazy. And then they holding this money in their account, making it look like, oh, we got a lot of money.
And then it's released after
the 3 months, and then you like, okay, I finally get my check. But you did a 60-40 split, so they still taking 40%. YouTube already got you in like a 60-40. Then you had another 60-40 split. It's like, bro, you getting all your money getting took from you.
They made it sound so delightful, like it was just going to be, you know.
Because just imagine, say for instance, like, you get $10,000 a month, right? Yeah. That 10 technically is almost 20,000, but YouTube already took their money. Yeah. Right? So now you just going home with 10. But now Maker, they said, oh, you in a 60-40 with us. So now you like, oh, I made $6,000 a month. No, you actually made 10 plus actually more, but YouTube up to, which I understand YouTube taking a cut because it's their platform. Yeah. They're the reason why you're making money. So that's understandable. But Maker makes no sense.
Yeah.
Did everything possible to get in contact with him. A contract shouldn't auto-renew. You should have to sign off on it each time it tries to renew. Maker Studios is just so lazy, so unorganized, and just doesn't give a about any of the people in their network.
Insanely unfair money splits, terrible communication, no assistance with copyright, and automatically renewing contracts that creators cannot get out of. In a silver lining to a terrible situation, PewDiePie stepped in and saved the entirety of YouTube. His anti-Semitic joke and Nazi imagery had Maker immediately drop him from the network. Disney decided they could not take a risk on unpredictable YouTubers anymore. They cut support from over 60,000 YouTubers down to just 300. They rebranded Maker to Disney Digital Network, and now the MCN business is pretty much dead. It's hard to know if Danny knew this business would be a scam from the very beginning. It initially started out as a humble group of creators working together to achieve a common dream, and within a short few years they were strongholding thousands of creators in evil contracts, forging their books to make themselves look successful, and almost destroyed YouTube as a whole. But I guess a few YouTubers got filthy rich, so it's all good, right?
Hell no, because I can be richer than what I am. I remember Tim was talking about how he, at one point, I was watching one of his videos a while ago, He was talking about how he got monetized early in the game, and he was just like he was one of the first ones who got monetized on YouTube.
Who?
Tim.
Oh, Tim.
But he never said he got
the reason.
He never said he got. He was like, yeah, YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I was one of the first ones that was on the platform, and I remember when they rolled it out, and I applied for it. But I wondered, were you assigned to Maker
at that time?
At the time, and that's how you got monetized.
Yeah.
See,
which
when
makes sense because people tell stories.
Yeah,
they leave things out.
They leave things out. When you like, you really need those real fine details to figure out a lot of stuff.
Yeah. This was a lot.
It still happens today,
yeah, though. Yeah. But it definitely was a lot. But to answer his question, yeah, he knew it was going. He knew because it was already.
He pulled
built,
out early.
It was already built on scam mindset. You know what I'm saying?
And he pulled out when the company was at its peak.
Yeah.
He knew, all right, this is time to cash out.
Because it's already starting to, you got people coming out, you got things happening, things are unfolding. The platform
changing too, because
now
y'all don't allow access to anybody to get monetized now.
So,
hold on. I can't help them monetize. They can't come to me to get monetized. They can just go to you. Oh, yeah, I need, because now I can't be the middleman.
Yeah, because you was about to start trying to get greedy. Well, you was already greedy.
You was already
greedy. But you was really trying to like have your hand, and I guess he was like, oh, yeah, let me be smart about this.
I wonder what's the split, because the split is technically amongst 5 of them, right? Mm-hmm. So you got 5.
Yeah.
And it was y'all sell
was it
original
right?
5, but it turned out
was
to be
even?
650.
Was it a?
I doubt it.
Or did
he probably took bulk?
Him,
and
her, Danny, and the girl,
yeah,
and
her brother.
Possibly her brother.
They probably took majority.
Child.
I wonder how that split really went.
I ain't trying to, I'm just cause.
But I say this. This still goes on to this day, especially with the insurgence of TikTok. You got a lot of creators that are in MCNs through TikTok.
Yeah.
A lot of y'all favorite creators are y'all favorite creators, and the reason why y'all see them so much is based off backing. It's not just organically them putting out content, but it's the backing of networks they are connected to. Which, if you get to that point and you want to do that, also be it. Do you? But it's different to compare those with people who actually grind and work themselves and don't have that backing. And people, y'all are automatically gravitated to them for who they are. It's not, they're not using the cheat code. The other people are using the cheat code. So they're not, you know what I'm saying? I respect the grind of somebody who just want to go work.
Yeah.
Opposed to, like, again, we've seen people complain, and they like to go on this rampage, make YouTube videos. They had control of my AdSense account. They ain't made no money. They did this to me. Like, cry me a river, bro. Like,
and I'm like, sorry.
There you go.
I was say it's like so many stories like that out here. I just wish people kind of would take heed and learn from other people's like mistakes.
Nah, because it's a cheat code to success.
I mean, I get that, and everybody like chasing it, but then I'm like, you come out 5 years later, 3 years, however long you in this contract or whatever, talking about. I'm just like,
peep this though. When they be signing them contract, they say for instance they sign a contract for 3 years, right? If you notice, they upload content constantly for them 3 years. Boom, boom, because they have to.
Yeah.
But as soon as that contract over, they slow down on posting content. Because they never did the content because they wanted to. It was because they had to.
They had to meet these deadlines.
And then that's the reason why y'all constantly loving them. And then y'all start not liking them and tuning into them after they get out of these contracts.
Yeah.
It's because it's not organically that you like them. It's that the machine forced you to like them. Yeah. It's somebody behind everybody you like.
True, and I understand everyone wants to be big. Everyone wants to be,
make the money.
Make the money. But definitely be smart at whatever decision. Don't hop on the first thing that come knocking at your door. The first person, hey, you got a contract. Hey, make it look good. Like, just be smart. Be wise. But yeah.
It's you at the end of the day. Not no one else, man. But as always, man, make sure y'all continue to spam us up in the comments.
Please do.
Let us know y'all thoughts down below. But as always, I do go by the name DJ The Kid. This is we are. We out.
Go and get it. Ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my folks. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar.